What's going on, everybody? It's been a
What's up,
minute.
everyone?
I was sitting here bullshitting to him, and he's like, "Hey, are you gonna go live yet?" I guess so.
Uh,
Oh yeah, check out the banner going by. Oh, let's turn this down. Shut up. I don't even know who's watching. I don't think there's anybody in the chat yet. Dang.
I'm not sure. I didn't even pull the chat up yet.
How do I refresh this?
I don't see anybody in the comments yet.
Should
But
I text? I even text my mom. She's probably taking a nap, so she'll miss it.
yeah, yeah. But it has only been 15 seconds since I saw the notification of Super One Handed is live.
Yeah. Yeah. Still nobody. Whatever. I'm going to friggin' haven't had a cigar in I don't even know how long, and I went and grabbed some today. I don't plan on making it a habit anymore, though.
Yeah,
This job's got me spending money left and right because I've been like, all these little parts here and there usually would have taken me like, all right, 1 month I'm going to buy this. 1 month I'm going to buy that. You know,
yeah.
and now it's like I get a good discount and it's right there. I can just like look online while there's like no customers and be like, I'm going to order one of those.
Yeah.
And then like 20 minutes later, oh, there it is. Oh, that's for me. I'm gonna buy that on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And then pretty much every day I've went to work, I've brought an RC car because I know like I don't really go anywhere on lunch. I usually just like crack another energy drink, have some water, maybe like a bag of chips or something that I bring from home, like a granola bar, shit like that. Or there's a vending machine. I'll get one of those like Star Crunch things for $1. That'll hold me over. A little bit of sugar.
Yeah. What's
And
going
then
on, man?
I'll bring my tripod. I bring like I have a whole backpack. Like I'll put a car in my backpack, my tripod, an extra battery, the controller, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do have a good little job. You get to mess with RC cars, talk about them all day, and then mess around with your personals.
Yeah, I mean it was crazy on Sunday. Mother's Day was just like so dead that I was like, I'm gonna look up these parts, and I got these Crawler Innovation foams. You and Jim talk about them. Jim always freaking says he uses the hell out of them, especially with the Mofo one ups because they're so wide. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I plan on making this truck heavy. I'm gonna get the mediums. I almost ordered like one of everything. I was like, I'm just gonna get them all and see which ones I like. But I thought about it and was just like, no, mediums will do. I almost got the single compound like gray ones, but they're a little narrow, so I think they still would have had a little bit of sliding. And I thought, well, I'll put a tuning disc on the outside, and I was like, nah, I'll just get the simple medium.
Yeah.
Even if it gets too heavy, like that's maybe when I'll start. Okay, let's get carbon fiber stuff instead of brass stuff. But I mean, they're not. They're about as firm as they were, maybe a little firmer.
Yeah.
But they have a little bit of give, and there's not like vented, so I could like vent them and get probably a lot better.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody showed up. Andy Ritchie, Chris Gerwitz, what's going on, guys? It's
What's
been a
going
while since I went live, but if you see the little ticker do down there, I've been busy.
on?
I've been busy. Wait. I've been real busy. But it's all been RC stuff, so that's cool. If you guys didn't know, which I'm sure you did, I got a job at A-Main Hobbies in Chico, California. The big like headquarters with the racetracks and the warehouse, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to Alex about the perks of sitting around kind of doing nothing and not much to do. So I ordered up the foams I needed and then was sitting there like, oh, I will do it at lunch. And then lunch came and I didn't do it because I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take me and I want to play instead of wrench. So I was like, I'll just do it at home, whatever. And then we're sitting around and another coworker was working on a drift car. And I'm like, hey, can I work on my car while I'm, between customers? And he's like, sure. So I started wrenching on the clock, just wrenching away. Some people came in. I, stop what I was doing, turn around, help them. And then told Alex earlier, I was talking to him, Earl, what's going on? Nosy, what's going on?
Stuff nosy.
Had a guy come in with his son or grandson, I'm not sure, but had a Rustler with a broken bearing carrier and an upper control arm. And he was missing a control arm screw. And I think another one ended up being bent. But he wanted to drop it off. And we have like a 2-week turnaround. Let me see if I can not cut my head off here. There we go. I got a real haircut too since I'm a working man. It's been a while. I just did the buzz cut. I got clippers. I just did the cheap shit. I didn't let him touch my beard though. That's still all didn't trim one bit of it. Anyways, this guy came in, wanted to drop it off and have us fix it because he didn't really know much, and the kid was a little too young to really know what he was doing. And I thought, man, I could do that in 5 minutes. Like, can I just fix this guy's truck real fast? Or, I asked to lead the guy that, normally fixes the trucks. Like, hey, can I just like walk him through it or whatever? And another coworker said, hey, I've never really fixed anything. Walk me through it, well, I'll just do this. And I was like, if he says all right, that's cool. So real easy. Take the bearing carrier off, popped out the bearings, put in the new ones. The hard part was taking off the shock tower to get to the screws because he was like, it was funny, he just looked at it like, how the hell do you get to that screw? And it's like way down in there. I'm like, right, so you have to take out these other screws to get to that screw. Like, there's always an easier way than like trying to bend shit out of the way or something. And I said to take off the cover, and then the tech said just take off the whole shock tower. It's like 4 screws compared to 2, and you get way better access to the whole thing. Anyways, it took him like 10 minutes, and then I was like, all right, cool, see you later. Turned around and finished my wheels, and then I was like, damn, now I want to go crawl. But then it got kind of busy. We had some people come in, so I was like, shit, just put it away, cleaned up a little bit. Oh, and then, damn, it died. Before that, I practiced some soldering. On some lights.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blind you. I got 2 strips on the roof. There's a Y. So I soldered the little tiny wires onto the little tiny freaking things. And it worked fine. I tested them. I plugged them in. I freaking stuck the lights to the roof and stuff. And I was like, cool. And then it was like right before lunch. I did the soldering before lunch. I think that's why instead of doing my foams, I just went and played. I wanted to see the lights and get a video and stuff, which I posted. So if you saw that, that was at A-Main on my lunch break. But towards the end, they started getting all dim and flashing like every time I turned or did something. And I was like, what the hell's going on? My battery can't be dead already from that much light. Like, they're pretty bright, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. So it's not like they're drawing tons of power. But anyways, the 2-to-1 that I had cut off of another set of lights was bad. So the tech guy just made a 2-to-1 himself. Like, he solders way better, obviously. So he fixed it up. And then one of my solders was a little hot because I don't know if you've ever soldered or anyone in the chat has ever soldered. You need like 4 hands to hold everything. Luckily, we got like the clamps, the little helping hands. We got 2 of those. So I had the LED light flat on the ground, weighted down so it wouldn't move. I had the wires in the clamp, holding the wire straight above it. I had pre-soldered and fluxed and all everything. But the problem was the wires were so like bendy, crazy ways. Every time I pushed it down, it would like bend back up out of the solder. So I'd have to like try to rotate it to bend it down and get it. And it's like by then I would do it like 3 times and kind of overheat it a little bit. And then part of the copper part, the little where you solder onto, when I was getting rid of the clear coating, I scratched off part of the copper, so I think it had a bad connection. Anyways, they work good now, nice and bright.
Nice.
I also posted a night video. I thought that effect was cool. I don't know if you saw that one with the handprint in the middle.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, that one I was like, that looks pretty cool. I like it.
And Nosy said, now that you got red lights in it, you should paint it black and make it look evil.
I want to get a black roof rack or paint the roof black for sure. I like the J Concepts, I think. Shit, I got a main open. I could look it up after I show you guys my drift car. I like the new Jeep deadbolt looking body where it's a deadbolt kind of in the back but has a Jeep grill. I was thinking that'd be a cool body to swap this out, but now that I got lights on this, I kind of want to keep this body.
Yeah.
But I think the black roof, because I've seen a yellow Jeep in real life and they almost always have a black roof. Like it comes off, so it's just like plastic, whatever. But taping everything off would be a bitch. Because I'd have to tape off the windows in the back. But I think because A-Main carries a roof rack for it, then they would add a bunch of black on top. And then I might do some of the scale stuff, but I want to keep it fairly light until I add more weight down low.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the chat before I go to that shit. Andy Ritchie, Chris. People saying hi. Eating chocolate eclair, of course. Nice, Nosy. He soldered the fuel gauge sensor for his mom to get her vehicle working. Yeah, I mean, soldering is a good thing to know, but like I said, you need like 3-4 hands to do it well, and especially little tiny wires. Like if I was doing a normal connection, it probably would have been a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like soldering, so I don't try to do it at all.
Yeah. And I mean, usually the tech, it's only like $5 to have him solder shit, but like, I think the reason I had it done before lunch is he was soldering something. I'm like, hey, while you got that turned on, you mind if I give this a shot? And he's like, by all means, go for it. And he's like, are you sure you don't want me to do it? And I was like, I need to try, but if I fuck it up, hopefully you can fix it, which he did in the end. So
yeah,
I'll be right back. I got to tell my dad something.
All right. I can get these comments to cooperate. Yeah, Nosy, that's why I don't even try to solder, because even whenever I'm still, I think it's just shaky.
Oh. All right, turn that one off. Unplug it. So this is the one that I had him do. Oh, I'm sure was all freaked out because it's not bound. I got blue lights under my red deadbolt to match the blue new Trio wheels. And you can't tell, but the blue Trio diff covers. That was the first set of lights that I had made up. And then I was just like, man, I know I got another, because we put blue lights under my dad's Gorgon. and they're like they come in like 2 foot lengths. You only need like a foot, so you have a whole bunch of extra. And so we had a strip like this long that I'd cut off that's like just long enough, and I had it on my deadbolt body, but the battery and everything like blocked all the light. So then I put it under the battery tray, over the transmission, and under the ESC tray. So now it shines down a lot better. It looks cool. And then the new wheels I put on, can't hardly tell. That's so crooked. There we go. Narrowed it up a little bit so it's no longer like super wide. I'm running just regular hexes. I took the 5mm hex extensions off and just put regular hex because now I can run a regular wheel nut and stuff, not the barrel nuts.
Nice.
Oh, that's why I can't see the comments up here. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely freaking burned my finger too trying to solder. I was like, God damn shit.
Yeah.
Max Paul, what's going on?
What's
I
up,
decided
Max
to go
Paul?
live tonight just because nobody else was, and I haven't been for a while. I was talking to Alex earlier today, and I was just like, yeah, I should do a live one of these dang days, but never really. My table here was a mess for one, so I had to clean that up earlier. But I got it.
Yeah, I haven't been trying my hand at soldering, but I did get bored one day and tried my hand at painting. That the Capra Earl sent me was all black, so I went ahead and did kind of like a fade style rattle can paint job on it.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I really do like how it came out, but with just the panels by themselves, I I thought it was gonna look retarded as hell. But once they got on the truck, it was worked out perfect.
Yeah, it looks good. Oh, I got this thing upgraded, but then burnt out on me. Got some new freaking super aggressive upgrade RC tires.
Yeah.
They're gnarly.
Those look good. I've seen those somewhere before. What company makes those?
Upgrade RC, it's an A-Main company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was joking around because there's a city crawl A-Main coming up, and they got a U4 race. And I'm like, what's the tire limit on the U4s? Because I'm about to put these tires on my crawler and freaking send it. I think that would be an awesome crawler tire.
Yeah. Going on, Steve? Steve Farms just got in the house.
What's going on, Steve? Nosy's driving, said I'll be right back. Yeah, not too many people on, but it's all right. It's Monday.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to show off what I'm saving my pennies for.
Yeah.
MST RMX 2.5 drift car. Yeah, I want the Mustang. Let's look up that other body, though. That one. Jeep LJ. I think it'd be cool to change my yellow Jeep to this.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
I think Cape Crawler's painted one up just like that because I think it comes with those stickers. I would do probably yellow just to stay with that, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I already have a red deadbolt, so I don't need red rig. All black would be kind of, you'd lose a lot of the detail, I think. What I'd want to do though with that drift car is get another Mustang body and make a flat black, like murdered out one. I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of like obviously Japanese cars because it's drifting stuff with like crazy liveries and stickers all over, and the sponsored out look. But I think just a murdered out Mustang would be sweet. All black, black rims, like shiny gloss black rims, satin black paint.
Yeah.
See if I can show some stuff while I'm on this to talk about. Oh yeah. Did everybody see my dad's new truck? I got him the Power Wagon.
Yeah.
Then we got some LGRP black labels. I got him some Trial Knuckles, Eco Power mountless servo, Trial brass steering link. And what did we just get? Oh, I just got him Trial diff covers. How do I go? Nope. Not that one. Here's another me crawling at my lunch break. This is the new crawler course where they're going to have part of the U4 and stuff. I had to go test it out. They're just out there digging and piling up rocks and logs and all kinds of shit. Apparently, they're going to make one heck of a course one of these days. Earl, I got gems flying around. Shit, I missed it. RC Granny, what's going on? I'm just shooting the shit, talking about my new job and showing videos of my own stuff.
Oh, great.
Trying to find the one video of me actually drifting to show that I actually need one. This one took me my whole lunch break to get. Oh, did it already go by? There it is. My whole lunch break, I was trying to get close to the camera. And not spin out, which, is harder than it seems.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's something way different that, it's not bashing, it's not crawling. You drive completely different. It's a lot of throttle control. And I mean, it's funny because they say like all the racers that try it can't do it because they're used to doing a certain kind of throttle control, and it's like a whole different level, whole different game. But yeah, I gotta catch up on some bills and shit before that happens because even with my discount, that's a pretty penny for a car just to play at lunch with. And there's some other upgrade parts that I kind of want, so a few bucks here and there that I'll probably get first. I need to fix the ESC in that, so I haven't even tested those tires yet. You can tell they're all nice and clean because I went out to plug it in. I bought a 3S battery to do some backflips off my ramp, and I don't know if it was from the backflip or just because they're already frayed a bunch and heat shrinked and duct taped and shit, so they probably just came loose. But the ESC wires like wiggled and shored out, so I tried to wiggle them to test it, and it would like go like a foot and cut out again. I was just like, it's done. I'm tired of messing with it. But hopefully I can take it to work and get it resoldered, or maybe a new ESC. But we're gonna try to resolder it, I think. Back from the beach, nice. Chris is checking the incubators for hatchlings. Earl said drones. Oh, has drones flying around him. Somewhere up here.
Okay.
Nosy, boy, did I screw up my custom rails for mounting my Jora XJ hardbody on my E10. Now I gotta get more flat aluminum stock and start over. My eyes don't work good anymore for little holes. That sucks. Driving, yeah, quit texting and driving.
RC Granny was asking if that was the track at your work.
Yeah, there's a drift track, there's a carpet track, there's a dirt oval, and there's a crawler track. Of course, whatever you call it. But yeah, there's like a specific tile they put down, and then there's just like some thin borders and taped out areas where you're supposed to like, drag your rear end through the clipping zone or whatever the hell they're called. I used to watch a lot of drifting, but I don't know all the terminology and shit now for professional drifting.
Yeah, I need to reach out to that buddy of mine out here. He does a lot of drifting, and I'd actually like to learn how to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like the throttle control is just weird because just like sliding around doing real donuts, you give it more gas and it goes more sideways, but you have to counter steer where it will counter steer for you, and you have to like fine tune the counter steer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I see all these guys do like these perfectly wide, smooth lines, and every time I try it, it's like fishtailing a little bit as it goes through, like trying to find the sweet spot, and they're just like right by. Make it look easy, some of them.
Yeah, RC Granny was asking, how do you get any work done?
Shit, I mean, it's cool because it'll be busy and then slow. Obviously, it can't be busy all the time. And then right behind where I work, there's like a work desk, with computers and stuff where people can come plop their RC car on it. And then behind me is like a whole wall of windows looking out on the track. So when it's slow, you can just like turn around and watch people race or watch people drift or watch people crawl, and it's like you don't even have to leave. You're just right there.
Nice.
Or it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and you walk past the drift track and you walk past the crawler course, and then you might have to stop and see what people are crawling. Like pretty much anytime I see someone out there mini crawling, I go out there and see what they're running. And there's some crazy rigs and there's some crazy hard lines that are built in. And this guy like said, oh, ever since this course is built, I've put tons of money into this rig just trying to make it up this one steep hill that's like the bounty hill that nobody can go up. And I'm like, well, now I got to try it. And of course I was nowhere near getting up it, but yeah, seeing all these different rigs. And I think on the 3rd of May there was a mini comp, and I was like, what time are you guys starting? Like, I could take my lunch and enter the comp, right? Like, that'd be fun. But I think they started like an hour before my lunch or something. So next time I might have to tell the lead, like, hey, can I take my lunch at this time instead of that time so I can go out there and enter the comp? Because that'd be pretty fun. They're not like super serious. They don't count backups. They don't do winches or nothing. Like, the gates were hard. Like, I watched one guy do it, and he had an axe, and he tried it with 4-wheel steer, and then he tried it with no rear steer, and got, I think, the same score or plus a couple points only. Like, pretty much did the same. He's like, man, it was actually sort of easier because I wasn't had to think about what the rear steering was doing. I was just trying to drive it normally. So, and then there was a pretty small turnout too. There was only like 3 or 4 guys. So I wish I could have entered just to have somebody else, there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't fill orders. The orders actually get filled really fast because those guys are on top of it. Like, if you order something, it's usually packed the same day, and they even have like a night crew, so you could order at 9 p.m. and they'll pack that shit that night.
Yeah.
Because we'll get people coming to the store and be like, "Oh, I placed an online order earlier this morning. Like, is it ready?" And I'll be like, "Let me go check." And sure as shit, it'll be in our back room, all packaged together with their name on it, ready to go. And I'm like, "What time did you place the order?" And they're like, "Well, like 9:30." It'll be like 2 o'clock, and the order's already sitting there waiting for them at the store. So they're
Nice.
pretty fast.
Yeah. Anytime anybody orders something from A-Main as our little community, we might want to just go into a comment section and just put like #1 salesman Denny.
Yeah. I was looking. Somebody earlier said I should get an affiliate link. I don't know if I'm allowed to work there and have an affiliate link. That's like double dipping.
Yeah.
Most of my orders were shipped quickly. I have to give it to A-Man. You guys have great service. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like, since I worked there, even like there's some stuff we won't touch. Like, someone came in with a electric scooter, and it's like, we don't fix those. That's not an RC car. But we were like, well, if you need a charger or something, the batteries are kind of similar, so you might be able to use this. Not telling them it'll work, but might. Oh, and it's crazy right now. So it's in A-Main's in Chico, California, and there's a Chico State University, and one of the engineering classes for Chico State had a bunch of parts given to them and had to make a working RC vehicle out of it, and then they're gonna like race them and test them. So we have these teams of high school, college kids coming in and being like, "I need something to make that work," and we're like, "You're looking for an ESC, what size is your motor? Bring it over here, And they were provided with like the motors, the axle shaft, the gearing, and something else, and they had to like make up everything else. So like at first someone would like they came in and they're like, "Oh, we need tires." I'm like, "All right, here's some tires." And then they're like, "How do you get the tires to stay on the axle?" I'm like, "Well, on an RC car there's like a hex." And they're like, "Okay, well, we need one of those." I'm like, "Well, but the hex usually has a pin, so you're gonna have to drill a hole through your axle or get a clamping hex." So then one of the teams tried a clamping hex, but it was making so much power that it was like spinning. So then we had to give them a different like locking hex. So then another team came in and were like, "Our tires are spinning on our axle," and we're like, you need these hexes." So it's funny that it's like not even a real RC car; it's just what they're making up, but they're using RC car parts. So one of them freaking like did something and was trying to have the fastest one and like burned up an ESC, like brought it in, and we were like, "Wow, we can smell that from over here. Like, you did something wrong. That's on fire."
Dang.
Yeah, Granny, that's my problem so far. I bought myself a new toolkit. I bought foams. I bought my dad a truck and parts to upgrade it. I probably my first check was only for like 2 days of work, so I probably spent that whole first check worth of work on little parts like these tires and stuff. I was like, well, I've been wanting those for a while, and now I get a discount, and they're just right here hanging on the shelf, so grab those. I got my mom some parts; those are right here. Got her a Emax servo and some purple horns for it.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've been giving out my stickers to all the coworkers, and then I was like thinking about giving them out to people there, but I don't know if I should since I'm at work. Like maybe if I was off the clock, I could be like, "Hey, check out my YouTube channel," but I don't really want to do that at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the tools, I looked up the Eco Power, and that's a main brand, so we get a pretty good price on those. And I was like, I could really use some nice, like decent tools. So I got a whole set of those. I got a nice big Eco Power work mat, so our screws don't bounce around and shit anymore on our table. I need to get one for my table right here, but we do most of our wrenching on the kitchen table, so half the kitchen table's RC car stuff.
Yeah.
We only use it's just me and my dad, so we only use 2 chairs. The other side's for RC stuff.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the hell out of that job.
Yeah, I mean, at first it is a drive, and I was like, man, a 45-minute drive, and it's like a 2-lane highway. There's like one area to legally pass, like with 2 lanes to pass. There's a few other like dotted line spots, but there's like so many orchards, and it's like just a little bit of over the hill. You can't see that far, so you're like, shit, like I can't even tell. And you're supposed to have your headlights on, but a lot of people don't.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you pretty much your drive to work is like on a safety corridor, pretty much. You're supposed to have
Yeah,
headlights on, all that mess, and yeah.
but I mean, so half of it's like 55, and then half of it's like 65. So like half of it says like headlights on through the orchards and shit, and then the other half's like just kind of straight go.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell did I do? There we go. My iPad almost died on me.
Oh yeah. So as far as the crawler innovation stuff, did you confirm that y'all do get the tuning disc also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's look them up.
What's that?
I said, let's look them up.
Uh,
It's crazy because like some people come in and like know exactly what they need and have like a part number and everything, and then some people are like, I need something. This doesn't work. And we're like, maybe this.
uh, yeah. I'm probably gonna eventually get that way with hobby shops. Just start giving them part numbers
Yeah, I
because
mean it's faster, but shit.
yeah. Yeah, I've hit that point like with automotive and always buying parts for my one-to-ones just to mess around.
So there's
The
those,
phone.
there's the discs, there's those gray ones that are like the single stage, and then there's some other ones. But Proline and Crawler Innovations are pretty much the only microphones they even have.
Nice. Yeah. How's it going, Miss Donna?
What?
Miss Donna's in the chat.
Oh, hey, my mom must have woke up from her nap. Oh, she said it. She dozed off. Come on, freaking iPad.
Yeah.
Thing's taking its sweet time. Mom, I was just showing this off. Here's your servo, and here's some purple servo horns to go on it. I lost the chat. My iPad's being screwy.
No, damn. What's going on, David Thompson? Thompson Zoo's in the house.
What's going on? Come on now.
And Miss Donna said those are sweet.
Yeah, so I put the mediums in these tires, and they filled out real nice. Still looks a little squishy in one area, but now they're actually filled out. And they're still pretty soft. I plan on making this a heavy rig. There's like almost a hint of air gap because they weren't real tall. The Crawler Innovations are not real. Like if you put them in like a 63 millimeter tire, there's going to be like air gap in there probably. I mean, if you squish the whole foam in there, they might kind of form in there, but
Yeah.
dang, this iPad's being slow.
Sorry. Was everybody still just saying hi to everybody?
Yeah, I'd say the hardest part, like for the first few days, I like avoided it as much as I could. But people will call in and ask, oh, so I got this my RC car, and it just when I hit the thing, it won't, you know, and you're like, what kind of car do you have? Okay, what's it not doing? Did you hit something or did it just stop? Did you check all the batteries? Like, you have to go through like every little step, and most of the time you're like, well, you can bring it in. And they're like, oh no, I'm like an hour away, and you're just like, okay, so sounds like it might be this. You could order one of those and try it, but without seeing it, we don't really know. Because like we had people, come in and say, oh, I just got this, and it's not working. This battery doesn't work, and it's like the connectors in the battery got hot or something and came loose. We put in a new battery and it works fine, and they're like, oh, well, I don't know, what happened. It's like, well, did you leave it on the charger? Did you leave it plugged in? Did you, run it excessively in tall grass or something. Like, we don't really know what you did, but we can tell you what's wrong. And of course, like everybody's like, "Oh, is that under warranty?" Like, nope, the battery melted. That's not really, unless you like literally just got it and went out to the track and had something go wrong, which I'm sure has happened. But had a turkey hatch. Nice, Chris. My go to live, not back there. Live now. I think it is. Now I can see the chat. But yeah, so now it's like I answer the phone and I just like, okay, shit. Or people will call and be like, "Oh, I dropped my car off, 3 days ago. Is it done yet?" Like, we got like a 2 week turnaround. Like, call back in a week. Or people would like, "Oh, I dropped off my car there, but I was wondering if you could change this too." So it's like then we have to go search for the car, search for the work order, change the work order to whatever he needs, get the parts for it so that when the tech gets it, it's all ready to go. But then it's funny, like, because we had one person come in, their car was ready, picked it up, and said, "Oh, well, only this side was broke. How can you change that side?" Like, well, because you bought two parts, so we replaced both of those parts so they match. It's like, well, I didn't, I don't want to pay for that, and it's like it's in the labor already. We change both parts. If we change one side, we do the other side. Like, it's just better that way.
Yeah.
Man, and then seeing the amount of people that just freaking love to spend their money on RC cars. They'll be like, "Oh, do you have the new XRT Mini? Like, I really want one of those." It's like, we had like 3 over there, but they're gone already. Oh, next time one comes in, save one for me. It's like, we save stuff for like 24 hours. If you don't come pick it up, it's for sale again. Like,
Dang.
because we get people like calling, like we had someone call and want the special black edition Chevy High Trail, and there was like one left out on the floor, and he's like, "Please put it, aside and put my name on it." Sure, we'll do that, but if you're not here by the end of the day, it's going back out on the floor. Like, we can't just like save all the RC cars behind the shelf and say, "Oh, those are sold, but they're not sold yet, so you can't have it." Like, if they're there with money, they get the RC car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granny asked if the turkey was for Christmas dinner. Won't be big enough this year. Slow grower.
Dang.
That's funny. Yeah, I've yet to. I ran my DR10 drag car on the oval there one time, and I didn't realize that they had just watered, so I was like slipping and sliding around everywhere. Like, shit, I don't even think I'm supposed to play out here right now, but I was on my lunch, so I just kept playing. But they have rental cars, like the sprint cars and shit. I want to actually like try the oval with a real like sprint car. I think that'd be super fun. WOTRC, what's going on?
Yeah, so like the 1RC stuff they do rentals on.
The little ones?
Yeah, I would say they're a little smaller than 24 scale, but
Yeah,
I've seen the 1RCs that come as like a stock car or a modified and a sprint car.
They have a little track for those, but I want to play on the big dirt oval track
Oh, okay.
because they have it says 1UP RC or whatever, the little like sprint cars, but the track is set up right now for like mini Bs, like it has turns in it. It's not just an oval, so I think they change it back and forth. But because like right next to the carpet track, it's probably like, I don't know, 10 by 10 maybe is like a foam padding like mini track, and I think they turned it into an oval for the because there's a sign right there that says One Up RC or whatever for the oval stuff. Thanks, WOTRC. Yeah, I haven't done a live for a while. I've been busy with my new job and just getting in the routine of working. And luckily, it's not like super early to super late. But by the time I get home, I sort of just eat, maybe smoke a little bit, and hit the sack. So I don't ever feel like staying up super late. But I now have my schedule permanent, I believe. So I'll have Monday and Tuesdays off. So I might try to start doing them like at least once a month on Mondays. I always thought it'd be cool to go because on Fridays they mainly do the drifting and racing and stuff. I thought it'd be cool to go live from there, but I'm gonna have to wait till it's like summertime when it's light outside longer, just so I don't have to drive so far in the dark. I mean, we got an old car with shitty headlights, so and I know there's tons of goddamn deer and raccoon and all kinds of critters because I see roadkill like every day. I know there's lots of critters on that road, so.
Yeah.
But one of these nights, I'm going to stay late and watch all the cool stuff and at least film it, if not go live. Just got a new job, loving it so far. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm super stoked on my new job. I'm very lucky. Got to turn my RC hobby into my job. Yeah, I mean it's an older freaking Pontiac car, and I could even probably like get some better fog lights on it. That way I'd have, extra light without blinding people. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of bills to catch up on, and I've been nickel and diming myself with all these freaking parts. Got some new rims, got my dad a new truck, and stuff like that. But my first real check, I'm paying off like some debt.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about blinding people though, because the way new
Yeah,
cars are with those LEDs.
I know. And then plus, I want just a new car. My car right now doesn't have air conditioner or nothing. The back windows, the power window part doesn't work. They fall up and down and shit. So I'm looking to save money for a real car. I'm gonna pay off debt, fix my credit score with that a little bit, and save some money for a freaking minivan, probably, so I can fit my kids and my dogs and my RC cars all at once.
Yeah.
Right, Granny? I don't know if you were here when I showed all my new underglow lights. I got all these cool lights on my rigs. Got red on the yellow Jeep.
Yeah, on that one, did you ever figure out why it has that lean?
No. I thought I found something. Like, I thought the shock was moved, and I was like, no. And then I moved them to the frame, and they're still the one side. Just, I mean, you can see the whole body's crooked. I don't know why it does that. It's like I don't know if the magnet's crooked. With the bumper off, it's not quite as noticeable, but you can still tell it's leaned this way.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Yeah, I got freaking bright ass lights on my RC cars. I'm driving an old freaking 1999 daily driver. Made a new rig. I'll put some other battery in. Yeah. When are those lights on? Come on. Oh, there they go. Oh, there's no damn batteries in this thing. Shit. Trying to show off my other TRX4M lights, but I got a bright light bar on this. Oh, I just found Traxxas makes bolt-on wheel weights for the stock wheels now. And I tried on my dad's Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X's from his High Trail onto these tires, and they fit just fine. So I think I'm going to get big tires and wheel weights for this next.
Nice.
And that'll be pretty much its first upgrade besides like lights and scale stuff. And then I was looking, the Traxxas brushless system is like $119. And I think with my discount, it'd be real worth getting for my dad for his High Trail, because then he'd have ultimate smoothness, and it's like super easy. Just plug in the motor, freaking new ESC, same controller. You don't have to do nothing. Just simple, quick swap.
Yeah.
Whoa, what? I haul all around the country things a tank, but when something goes wrong, it costs me at least $2,000 plus. Holy shit! Yeah, WT says I haven't bought a new whip in 5 years. Yeah, I mean I drive an old beater, but I'd like air conditioning and power windows. But I plan on trying to pay it off like as soon as possible. Chris can't wait to get his 52 back from the shop. Sounds fun. Oh, 05 6.0 Power Stroke. Yeah. I don't even know diesels that well, but I've heard things about that one.
Yeah.
Nice. Chris had since he was 14. Dang. Oh, I was going to show off my DR10 oval car. So I still got the front drag slicks, and I upgraded the servo, and then I had to change the rear tires and put Stampede tires in the back. So now they got big old freaking meats in the back, and it still clears.
Nice.
Not that I plan on jumping it a whole lot, but yeah, now it's like one of those old muscle cars you see with the freaking huge meats, but they're like off-road tread.
Yeah.
And then freaking I was running around on the oval on my lunch break that one time. It was all wet and shit. And then I got home and realized my transmitter was on 50%. So I was just half throttling it the whole time. Like, shit. It probably would have been way funner if I went to full speed. RC Granny says the manufacturers need to get the old school style shaped cars back with a modern drivetrain. Yeah, you only see like concept cars and you're like, oh, look, a new 55 Chevy Bel Air, but a modern one. And then the Bel Air comes out and it's like a piece of lump of shit. And you're like, where'd all the cool fucking 55 Bel Air stuff go? Why'd you get rid of all that?
Yeah.
It's because all the front ends have to have crumple zones and pedestrian impact bumpers and shit nowadays. Before he's fucking got hit by a car, it was done. Now the car crumples around you, so you survive.
Oh. That's why all my dailies are older vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on not getting like a fucking brand spanking new. I'm going to like a used shitty car lot somewhere. There's a couple in my town, but I want to say they're probably overpriced for being such a small town. But I might go look and see what they got just for fun.
Yeah, I've debated on my 1-ton truck to put a bumper sticker right on the front bumper that says, I promise I won't break.
Yeah. A-Main treating you good, Super? Heck yeah, man. It's been super awesome. I wish I lived closer just so I could like not have to drive 45 minutes and, spend a quarter tank of gas to go to work every day and back or whatever, but it's super awesome. I mean, I get to go freaking RC all day and help people out. The learning the computer systems what's been crazy for me because I like realized like I haven't had a laptop since like college. I haven't had a PC for I don't even know how long, like 10 years at least. So like all the computer stuff, the sales point and the A-Main freaking retail end and copying and pasting part numbers from this screen to that screen and remembering, where stuff is me being old. I was like, God damn, why do I feel so old? This computer shit's like annoying.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, I got called in one day on my day off, and I think it was just because the other guys like requested the days off, so there was nobody else to work. But I was like, I'll come in. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take me an hour to get there, but I'll be there. And then it was just like a super easy day. And then it's fun, like, if it's super slow, they'll be like, oh, let's go see who can drift better. And like two of us will walk out with the rental drift car and play for 5 minutes until we see like a customer come in and we'll walk right back in. And, it's like right there. So there's huge windows. You can see customers. You can see the whole retail shop, and there's always like at least 3 to 4 of us working there. So like 2 of us can be helping customers, one can be going to get parts, and one can be like on the phone or whatever it is. So there's always like enough people. I mean, it's been like slam packed busy, and it was like my first or second day or week, and I was just like, who's next? What? And then they'd ask me something that I would just like be way over my head about like some drones or airplanes, and I'm like, you're gonna have to talk to that guy, and he's kind of busy. I mean, I know a little bit, but I'm not, I'm nowhere near the kind of RC guru encyclopedic knowledge that the other tech guy is. Because they'll like racers will come in and be like, "Oh, I need my car's pushing or doing whatever, and I need to adjust something to make it do this and handle this way. What do I need to do?" And he's like, "Oh, you just change this to this many degrees of angle instead of that." And I'm just like, "How do you know all this shit?" I mean, obviously he's been around the RC shop. He's worked for A-Main forever, but it's like the stuff he knows. I barely know as much stuff as he forgot probably. Yeah, WOT, they have a carpet track that's on road and off road. So they'll put jumps on it for the off road, even though it's still carpet. You still have to have like carpet tires and a chassis protector and stuff like that because they don't want you digging up the expensive RC carpet. But then they got a dirt oval track, they got a big drift track, they got a mini crawler course, they got a 10 scale crawler course. Like, pretty much the best break room you could ask for. Like, what do I want to do today? And I like the drift cars. I don't have one yet, but I can just grab one of two that is like an A main car. One is a rental and one's like a really good one. And it's like, oh, I'll just drive this for 20 minutes on my lunch break and then sit over there and scroll on my phone and eat some grub or something and watch these guys race and whatever. And there's, bathrooms and drinking fountains and vending machines and all the good stuff. So, yeah, it's been pretty awesome. And I get an hour lunch, so I have time to like play for a while and wrench and freaking eat. And, I don't even have to go nowhere. There's, microwaves and all that good shit, obviously. Break room if I wanted to, but I just go out on the track. Yeah, bring my rig to work day every day is exactly right. I think there was like one day where I thought I had a rig in my backpack and was like, oh shit. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to go drift then. Like, if I didn't bring a rig, there's more rigs to play with. There's also a 10 scale crawler that I could play with, but it's pretty clapped out. Like, the one foam is like completely garbage, and they're like, it's the rental. It doesn't have to be new. Like, we'll fix it one of these days. And then I've yet to try the dirt oval with like a real oval car. I think that would be fun. And I think the rentals might have transponders to tell you like your lap times and stuff. So that would be super fun. RC Granny, it's an RC Addict's Paradise. Yes. Ozzy, what's going on, man? Long time no see. See you later, WOT. Taking off. Yeah, I probably won't be on too long. How long?
We're good,
Like
man.
an hour. I'll probably only go another like 20 minutes. I just wanted to get on and say hi to people. Just bashing it. What's going on? Everybody's showing up now that I was talking about getting off, but not much. Just got off work. Yeah, today's my day off. I got today and tomorrow, and then I work a day, and then I got another day off, and then I work the weekend. So it's kind of cool because the weekends seem to be busy, but also slow. Like, it's either real busy because people all come on like Saturday when the races are, or then like Sunday everybody's off doing like something else. There's like, you know, the regulars that come in on Saturdays, but then don't come in on any other day or whatever. Pretty much. How's the new job going? Good, man. I'm loving it. I can't believe I got to turn my RC hobby into like a job. I was gonna say full time, but it's only part time. But I get paid to go talk about RC all day and help people fix them and order parts for people and learn, every little in and out about every car because people are coming in and like, oh, I need an ARMA this or that, and it's like I don't have any ARMAs yet, so I don't really know, but I know enough about RCs to figure out what they need or what it's called, or a lot of times I can just type in like ARMA, hit parts, and what do you need? And, pull it up. That's all there. You see the banner down there, Osborne? Right there, that guy, super A main man. At the displays right here, and this place right here. I got a job at the hobby shop in Chico, California. A Main Hobbies, the place where everybody likes to buy their parts. Damn, I'm out of drink. I'm out of cigar too. But yeah, so far I'm freaking loving it, guys. It's awesome. I was just talking to Alex earlier. So this is my Jeep that was gifted to me by him, and I've done all Mofo and CCXRC upgrades. And I got the 1-ups, and they're super wide. And I used to have a problem with the foam being too narrow. So I got some Crawler Innovation foams that were, extra wide. I got the mediums, stuffed them in there. Now the tires are full and supported, so the sidewall no longer just like moves and gives away. It's actually secure. RC Athletes is here. Dang, Lyle in the house. Now I'm going big time. Thanks for showing up, man. I was just talking about my new job at this place right here. Been busy. I think I'm in my like 3rd or 4th week now.
Nice.
I've got the wrench on RCs, my own, and got paid to, fix RCs. There was an order. Someone left a Stampede and a Slash, which I have a Stampede and my dad has a Slash. And I was like, hey, I know how to fix those. I could do that. And the tech that, gets paid more than I do, and his job was just like, sure, here you go. So he set me up with his tools because I hadn't bought my new tool set yet, but he set me up with his tools. I mean, it was a bearing carrier and I think a hub, a C-hub thing. What else did I don't remember. It was only like my 4th day, and he's like, all right, I like the eagerness, but, it is my job to fix them, not yours. So, but I plan on trying to fix more because he said, we do have a bunch, so we could use people that know what they're doing fixing stuff. So that'll be fun. But on Sunday, on Mother's Day, it was so dead that I ordered these foams from the warehouse, got them over, paid for them, went to do it on my lunch, decided not to because I was having problems with the lighting kit, which I'll show you guys that didn't see my new lights. My lights were messed up because it was my first attempt with our new with the work soldering station, which is awesome, but you need like 4 hands to solder, and I only got the 1, so it was a pain in the freaking butt. But luckily they had the helping hand clamps, and they got 2 sets of them and shit, so I got it figured out. I got one a little hot because the wire, I was telling Alex earlier, so I had the lights here. There's 2 little, copper pads with solder on them. Got solder on the wire, and I'm trying to hold it down right here, but it kept wanting to curl up on me. So I'd push it down, and the heat would curl it, and I push it down, and the heat would curl it, and I'm like, God dang it! So I'm trying to bend it over and stuff, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, I was on the clock just soldering up freaking my lights and rebuilding wheels, adding foams and stuff. You sell cars too. Yeah, I mean, I work in the hobby shop where all the cars are on the shelf. We have some parts on the shelf, but mostly it's if they want a part, we look it up or have them look it up. There's the kiosks and shit, and get a part number, and then we have everything right next door. So there's 4 of us working. Pretty much, it's always one guy's job to go run and grab parts, and we'll get 4 or 5 customers parts, get an order, go grab it, come back or whatever. Or if there's just one guy, we'll be hey, it'll be 5 minutes while we go get it, and then we go grab it. But there's the Slashes and the Axials and the TRX4Ms and all that stuff out on there, and people just grab a box and say, well, I need this, and what charger do I need? And I tell them it's over there, and you need this one and whatever. So it's been fun. I mean, people come in and I'm the one standing there, and they're like, hey, so what's a good beginner? I got a kid, and I'm like, hey, a 2-wheel drive Slash or a Stampede if you like a monster truck, but a Slash is real indestructible. We also have Armas, if you don't like a certain brand and this and that. And I'm a RC salesman, parts, cars, all of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have rockets. There's lots of Gundam kits that you mostly buy online. We don't have any in the store, but I've seen people come in and buy the nippers and the files and stuff like that, and they'll have stuff ordered online and delivered to the store. And I've seen Gundam kits being picked up and stuff. And that's it feels weird to be oh, well, what'd you order? And they're a Gundam kit, and you're oh, cool, because most people, I asked some of the other RC guys and they don't know. And luckily I've like done a couple. So I'd be like, yeah, I heard the God Hands or whatever are the best clippers you can buy because they're like $50. But he's like, oh yeah, I got a pair of those a long time ago and I love them and they're still sharp and blah blah blah. And then just the RC stuff. I mean, getting paid to talk about RC stuff or like getting paid to just sit there, have someone walk in and say, "Oh, this broke. You know what? I don't know which parts I need, or can you fix it, or whatever." And I was talking to Alex earlier. We had a guy come in with his son or grandson, and had a broken rustler, needed a bearing carrier and an upper control arm. And he was like, "Oh, I need to drop it off. I don't really have any tools, and I don't know how to work on them, and this and that." And it was pretty dead, so I was just like, I looked at the lead and was like, "Hey, I could do that in like 5 minutes," rather than him like drop it off. And then one of the other guys working there was like, "Well, I never get the wrench on nothing. Let me fix it." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll talk him through it." And he's like, "Sure, we're not doing nothing else. Like, let's fix it for them." So he bought the parts. He needed a screw and some bearing carriers, like I said, and freaking they're right on the shelf. We didn't even have to go get those. We carry a lot of RPM parts for Traxxas and Arma. That's like the main thing we have in our showroom. And then we have like carpet race tires and drift tire stuff. I'm still living on my land, won't be leaving, LOL. Love the swamps and river. Heck yeah. I hope you get a freaking sweet shack out there besides the camper, Lyle, one of these days. I don't know if you already did that or not. Sorry, just reading the chat. But yeah, so I helped talk to somebody else that doesn't even like. It was funny. Like I was like, "Oh, what kind of RCs are you into?" And he's like, I don't really RC. I just got this job. Thought it was a cool job." And I'm like, "Geez, like how do you know what people need?" And he's like, "Luckily, most of the time, like they know what they need. Or if I don't know what they're talking about, I can talk to someone that does." And there's been a few times where like they'll be on the phone and they're like, "I don't know what he's talking about. Can you help him?" And I'm just like, "Sure." Because, we'll have people call that like don't know anything about RC and be like, "Oh, I need a sprocket." And I'm like, "What kind of RC is it?" Like, there's not a sprocket. There's a gear. You might need a pinion or a spur gear. Is it the big one or the little one? So you have to help people a lot. And it's been a learning experience, like taking my RC knowledge and trying to turn it into customer service because I never really had a customer service job very long. So I don't have the natural customer service, but I do love RC, so it's easy to talk about or figure out the solution of what people need.
Yeah.
Lyle said, "Did you see the turtle video?" I don't think I saw that.
Mhm.
907 Arctic, what's going on? Sorry if I didn't say hi to you already. We got Dwayne Clark in the house too. I don't know if I said hi to him. Just bashing it. I said hi. Yeah, it's super fun. Like I got to see the mini XRT like right as it came out. I got to hold it and take off the body and squeeze the tires and took the mini Max body and seeing if it fit on there and all that stuff and saw the difference in the width and the all that. It's pretty cool. Like before I would, watch videos on new RCs coming out and just, out of interest, be like, oh, cool new RC or whatever. But now it's like almost freaking homework. Like I want to know more about it and remember technical details so that when people come in and they're like, oh, what's the difference between the mini XRT and the mini Max? Like I don't, which one should I get? And I could fully explain it without, being like, well, that one's bigger and faster. Like, because that other people that work there are just like that one's has those tires, and that one has those tires. Like they don't, they don't really know the full difference. And one could be like brushless and brushed, and they don't even know by looking at it. Hey Jim, what's going on? I sent you the link earlier. You must be busy. Christina, what's going on? We got everybody popping in. Right when I said I was gonna not hang out very long. But yeah, so now it's like I watch new videos and actually try to pay attention to all the little technical stuff, so I know little things. Dwayne Clark, super one-handed question. Since you work at A-Main, oh, I missed it. Since you work at A-Main, what would be the average price to electric swap a DBXL? Shit, DBXL, that's the big one. You'd probably need a max 10 or max 8 ESC. Ouch. I don't know what those run, but I know they're like 150, maybe $200 for just the ESC. I'm sure there's a combo, but I know there's like a Hobbywing, motor that would fit the ESC I just said. See, if I was at work, I would just look up Hobbywing freaking Max 8 ESC or whatever. You have got those customer service things. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we get a lot of people asking questions just like that. Like we sell the low C 5T, and it's a big old gas powered, and they're like, "Oh, could you make that electric? Because I don't think my neighbors would like it." And I'm like, "You can for like the same price as the whole car itself again. The 5T is like a $1,500 car. If you want like a good big brushless system, like same thing, it'd be just the same kit that people put in their Primal RC freaking monster trucks. That motor that's like this big around. That's what you need for something that big, but motor mounts and all that. Yeah, I'm sure that's a freaking common swap. So I would start with YouTube, and if someone has actually done that swap, and see what they used, see what they needed. Try to find a couple videos of them doing it. See if where they came into issues. Because you definitely, yeah, you're gonna need a good motor mount, and changing it from gas to electric is gonna be like a whole different kind of mount. Probably some kind of shit like nitro slipper clutch or something. Unless you want direct drive, might end up breaking gears and shit. If you don't have the answer, you have the experience to explain to the right coworker. Yeah, it's been nice having the freaking super tech there. Every day I work, he works, so it's like there's never not him, to fall back on. Because even like the manager of the shop, I asked him one time, like, "Oh, what, he's busy. Do you know what this?" And he was like, "Look, I'm the manager. I don't know that much about RC cars. I manage you guys. You guys know about the RC cars." And I'm like, "All right, fair enough." But yeah, it was funny freaking asking him, and he was like, "Don't look at me. You wait for him. He knows everything." But yeah, and then shit, he's taking a remote job, so he's gonna be gone soon. So like one of these days, it's gonna be me and someone else. There's probably the one guy knows some stuff, but he didn't know a whole lot. Like he was fixing his own thing and like changing out a servo and put in a new ESC. But when it came to programming it, he was like, "Hey, yeah, I need help with this." So if someone came in, like someone did come in they just bought the new, I don't remember which one it was, a new transmitter for his drift car, and the steering was reversed, and he had no idea how to reverse it. And I looked at it and was like, "I've never seen this controller in my life. I don't have no idea how to reverse it." but I know enough about moving buttons, to kind of figure it out. But I was like, well, before I mess with it and screw something up, let's just ask him because he actually knows. And then I sat there and watched how he did it, so that way, if I sell another one and someone asks something like that, I could maybe remember how he got to there. But that's the other hard part is like we carry so many parts that it's like
Have a
people
good one,
come in and
Lyle.
they're like, "Oh, it said out of stock online. Can you get it from the warehouse?" And I have to like look up and go to our backlog and look up the part number and see if we actually have any in stock, or if it says zero, I have to tell them nope, it's out of stock, just like it said. But yeah, trying to like memorize all the parts that we have, or like memorize what parts people are like talking about. A lot of the times, like I said, someone will like ask for a sprocket and I have to figure out like transmission gear, what are they meaning by sprocket, what part of the car are they at. But then other people come in and they're like, oh, I need a part number, XLT-201, and I'm like, this thing, I don't know even what they're talking about. And they're like, yeah, I need two of those. I'm like, sure, I can order that, be here in 10 minutes. Just popped on and say, hey, watching Hoggy, have a good night. All right, Lyle, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, sooner or later I'll remember a lot of the stuff. Like I was saying earlier, the computer learning stuff is hard, and like you have to take an online order that they picked up, remove their name and tag, like order number thing, receipt, whatever, like scan it in, click that it was received, click that it was shipped so that they can't say that it wasn't received, and like step after step, there's just like 5 or 6 steps to do like something. And forever I would like blank on like, okay, I did step 1, 2, and there's supposed to be like a screen or something or a box that I have to click, and I'm like, shit. Now I don't remember what step 3 was, and I'll have to be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to fuck it up. So, but luckily, like I said, there's always like 4 people, so I can just turn around and someone's like, and I was like, hey, come here for a second. I've fucking lost. And they're just like, oh, click right here to do that. Because like everybody else, I think there's one other person that's like 3 months old at the sales position. So they pretty much know all the computer stuff, but don't know any of the RC stuff. So like, we'll trade. I'll be like, here, you check these parts in, and I'll take that phone call about whatever they're talking about and figure it out. And it's like the other part is kind of funny about customer service. I'm supposed to like, hello, this is A-Main Hobbies. How can I help you or whatever? I don't even think I'm supposed to say my name. Just say who they're calling. But a lot of times I'm just like, all right, see you later. And like click, and then I'm supposed to like have a good day. Is there anything else I can help you with? I'm just like so used to like normally talking to people, and I'm just like, all right, cool. So is that it? Like, yep, yeah, all right. See you later. Bye. Just like I'm supposed to like be professional, and then like saying hi to people when they come in the door. Like usually I just kind of like, hey, like I don't know, and then I have to be like, oh, welcome in, like shit like that I got used to. But yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I can't believe I got to like fix stuff for a customer several times. I got to work on my own shit, just practicing soldering and keeping busy. I mean, I've like dusted the shelves, straightened all the rims, and done all that like busy work several times a day, to where it like gets to the point where I'm like, hey, so can I order myself some parts and like wrench a little bit? And it's as long as I'm not like ignoring the customers when they walk in and got my head buried in my own shit, like they don't really care.
Nice.
And like another thing, like you're supposed to take a break or whatever, and I'm not like ever really one to be like, hey, I need a 10-minute break to go smoke or whatever, because This is the first time I've had a cigar in like months, but I noticed all the younger kids are like taking 10 minutes to go freaking vape and shit. And I want to be like, I need 10 minutes to go crawl. Like, I want to go play for a minute. I need a break from RC to go RC.
Yeah.
Develop your professional persona. Yeah, I'm trying. And then, you know, obviously every once in a while you get the customer that wants to ask me questions about my arm and stuff. And it was always like in older jobs, it was weird because I don't know. I didn't feel as comfortable at work or something, so it felt extra awkward to be personal about something when they asked about it. I was just like, you know, I don't know you. You know, I don't want to talk to you about this. But there's been like regulars that come in, like, you know, that rent a space at the track, like have all their RC cars and tools there, and they'll come up and like need a different pinion because they want to change their gearing by one tooth or something, and they're, you know, they'll stand there and talk to you for 5 minutes. That I don't mind when it's like, you know, kind of a regular customer and getting to know people. You know, they know everybody. They're, you know, they're saying, "Oh, how's your kids?" and this and that. So it's not like just some customer. It's like an actual friend or someone that you're getting to know in the RC community. So it hasn't felt as awkward. But that was, I mean, when I first got it, I was like, man, everywhere I go, people ask me. But I mean, it's an obvious thing to ask someone about. And one of the ones that asked me, there was a couple guys that showed up, drifters, RC drifters, that were in wheelchairs. So it's like, you know, of course they want to ask me because they were in some kind of accident or something, and they, you know, we just sat there and talked war stories for half an hour, and you know, I was on the clock just bullshitting with RC guys about freaking life in general, not even RC, but it's a super laid back job. I can't stress enough how lucky I feel to have it.
Yeah. And since you said you was passing a couple of stickers out to coworkers, has any of your coworkers noticed your two different hands on your banner and sticker?
I don't have the banner sticker right now. I need to order some more of those. All I've had is the big skeleton hand, and they were just like instantly like, "Oh, that's freaking cool." And I was like, "Yeah, you don't have to put it on your car or nothing, but somewhere." And then like one of them put it right on their freaking workstation, like on the window. They didn't stick it there, but it's like stuck there, so it's like right front and center where people can see it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, so I this is the shirt I wear. I had this shirt before I worked there, and I got another one just like it, and then some polo shirts, but the polos bug my fucking beard. But I was thinking about getting an iron-on freaking logo to put on my work sleeve of my super one-handed. But I don't know if I should customize my work shirt like that.
Probably not. They might not like that too much.
Self-promoting at work.
Yeah.
Shadow the tech guy or the guy who knows the computer. Yeah. So I do like when I ask them to like, oh, I don't remember how to check these in or whatever. I'll sit there and try to like watch what they clicked on, or I'll say, you know, like walk me through it because I don't remember step right. I remember step 1 and 2, and then I get lost. Right? Can't remember step 1, and then I remember, okay, then you do this and that. But like I noticed on Sunday when we were like super slow, I didn't feel so rushed that I was just kind of like this and then that, and I kind of like figured it out and then remembered it, and then by the end of the day, I was like being able to remember easily what to do. So yeah, I mean that part's like the most challenging, but something I can obviously figure out pretty easy. Like I know how to work
Yeah.
my smartphone and shit enough. I think I could figure out a few different screens at work. It was just kind of weird because there's like the same screen, but there's like a blue line, wait, a green line, an orange line, and a gray line, and each screen does something different, but they look exactly the same. So it's like, was I supposed to be on green or fucking gray? Like, so then I'll go to gray and look for what I'm looking for, and be like, that's not it. Go to green, and there it is. It's a little shit like that. That when I'm busy, it's like fuck. I feel stressed and, you know, trying to remember what to do next.
Yeah. It'll get smoother with time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. This coming Saturday is the A Main City Crawl. They have like food trucks and like carnival events to like give out free RCs and like crawler competitions. They're having a U4 race. They're doing all kinds of cool stuff. And I guess pretty much everyone that works there works that day, and they just like rotate you in and out where you like go out and play like outside or like run a carnival game or give out raffle tickets or whatever, and then come back in and like work normally. But that, I mean, it sounds like something I've always wanted to go to. Like I remember being like, oh man, they're having a big city crawl down in Chico. That'd be cool. And now I get to like be there the whole day and freaking work it and see everything, the ins and outs. Because I know like this last weekend we just got like a whole bunch of inventory in the shop, like crawlers and TRX 4Ms. Like we tripled the amount of TRX 4Ms we had because we plan on giving like 5 of them away. Like they tend to sell real big on that day, I guess. So it's been cool, like seeing the behind the scenes hobby shop stuff that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
Like seeing that mini XRT, like I don't even think they were barely on sale yet, and we had one to play with.
Nice.
Make a cheat sheet, yeah. So I did have that at first. I would say like I'd write down freaking okay, orange screen, products, categories, whatever, so I could remember like step by step. Because I would just like get to the wrong screen, or like 2 of the screens are basically identical. They have like the same shit. So I'd go to like products, categories, and then they would be different. And I'd be like, wait, where's the thing I'm looking for? And I'm like, shit, I'm on the wrong screen still. Like, so I have to go to the other screen and then products and categories and stuff like that. That just growing pains. I got to learn the new system. And my mom says she wants to go. Yeah, I wish I could take my dad, but he'd have to be there for 8 hours while I was at work, and I don't think he'd want to hang out that long. It's a long time for RC and stuff if you're not getting paid for it. Yeah, my mom saw a video and was like, "How much is that El Camino on the shelf right there?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, a notebook and stuff kind of works, but then I'd have to be reaching in my pocket, putting the notebook down, writing on it on the counter. When usually, like, if I have a part number on the screen, I can just copy and paste it. That's like the easiest way. That way, you don't have to like remember it or write it down wrong or whatever. Like, there's a bunch of computer tricks that I need to learn, like the copy and paste, quickly and shit like that. And then like 2 of the computers are touch screen and 2 of them aren't. So a lot of the times, like if they're a mouse, it's right-handed. Everybody's fucking right-handed. So I'm doing a lot more on the touch screen, but I have like fat fingering it and shit like that. And there's one that has a wireless mouse, so I'll go to that computer and so I can just pick it up and move it. And it's funny, it's like the main text computer because he'll come back and be like, every time, I'm not left-handed. Like, put the mouse back. I'm like, you put the mouse back. I'm left-handed. Yeah, RC Granny. She already sent me lists, and I already got parts for her. I got an Emax for a truck she doesn't have, and I'm gonna get all the purple Trio parts for her. Probably a black C10 to put all those parts on. High tech gadgets. Yeah, shit. It's funny because like we'll turn the screen around to show the customer a part, and they're always like, "I want that one," and touch it, and you're like, God damn it! Now I got to go back to the whole list of parts.
Oh,
Brian Koshner, what's going on? I'll
going
probably only
on,
be on for
Brian?
another like 20 minutes, guys. I'm still going to bed fairly early these days. I mean, I don't have to be there till like 10 o'clock, but it's an hour drive, and then I wake up an hour before that, and so I don't have to wake up like super early. But I've been trying to get more in the work schedule of things rather than just like stay up on my days off super late and then be dragging and go back and forth.
Oh,
Like I'm still at the point where I'll like take my lunch and realize it's freaking not even realize it's lunchtime. Like I'll be going through the day and he's like, "Oh hey, you got to take your lunch," and I'm just like, "Holy shit, it's already been like 5 hours," and then I'm like not even hungry, but I'll like have a rock star or something and open a freaking soda pop or something. But yeah, the getting into the work schedule is like weird. It's like I'm not used to going to lunch at a certain time. Is like usually I just eat when I'm hungry.
yeah. Yeah.
Once you get a hang of the system, the boss will change the system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian. I mean, I still can't believe that I got to turn like my hobby into a job. I mean, right now it's just part time, and it's enough to obviously the extra money's nice, and the discount on parts and stuff that I'm doing, and getting paid to wrench on my car, at work and shit like that is pretty nice. But yeah, I hope to stay there for a long time. Like I already thought about moving to that city just so I don't have to drive as far. Then I could also like hang out on the race nights and like maybe start racing a series since I'll like live in that town rather than like, oh well, there's a race on Wednesday, so I have to stay till freaking 9 p.m. even though I have to like work the next day or whatever the situation is. So I thought about moving there. Like I told my dad, there's more stuff to do there, but it's also a college town, so there's like a bunch of fucking drunk kids and shit, stuff like that. So maybe if we lived like on the outskirts of town and it was only like a 15, 20 minute drive or something, because there's like a lot of country around it, so don't have to be right in town or anything. And obviously the college dorm type prices will be skyrocketing like rental houses, so we'd have to like actually buy a house, and that's a whole ordeal. So that might not happen. I'll probably end up just driving 45 minutes to work for a while.
Yeah. It is funny though, because if you do a 45-minute drive and then all of a sudden you cut it down to like a 25-minute drive, just that 20 minutes makes you feel so different, like you can do
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. Because now it's like I get home and I'm like, I get off at 6, and then I'm home by 7, around there, and then I'm instantly like eating or cooking or something. And then it's like, well, shit. It's like 8:30. I'm gonna go freaking take a shower and go to bed. Like ready, about done with the day.
Yeah.
Used to work at a record store. Good memories. Yeah, this is definitely like the kind of job where people, I've heard people say, freaking, oh, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like, I don't ever feel like I'm going to work. Like, I don't wake up and be like, oh shit, fucking gotta go to work today. Like, I get to go hang out at the hobby shop and they're paying me every day. Like, I can do that. Like, sure, I have to like learn some computer stuff, but that's like minimal. And I mean, like the hardest part of my job would be like, oh, here, wrench on this, and you have to hold these screws, kind of shit. And I can do that. So I mean, it sucks like when people come in and they're asking about like drones or airplanes, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I no idea. Or like one person came in and wanted some upgrade ESC or something, or some race box. I don't. It was something I was like, I'm not sure what that is. He's like, oh, it's for racing and blah blah blah, and I'm like, let's look it up. Like, and he's trying to ask me like, what's the benefit over the standard and the pro? And I'm like, have to click on the pro, read it, click on the standard, read it, like try to find whether it says anything different. And then he's like, just wanting to spend money on RC stuff, and he said, wanting all the best high dollar cool gadgets. And I just like explained to him like, you're not really gaining that much if you're to the point where you need to tune every little thing, like your throttle curve and this and that. Sure, you might upgrade, but it sounds like you haven't been racing that long and probably don't need to tune all this quite yet until you get your car more dialed in. So it's like sometimes I feel like I'm selling people out of stuff. Like, yeah, you don't need to spend $400 on this thing just because it's like the new shiny thing. Or like people will ask, like, oh, what's a better crawler, the Axial or the TRX4M? And it's like depends on where you're crawling or what your goals are with it, or are you into the RC hobby and you want to like endlessly modify it like a lot of people do, or do you just want to buy one and like drive the shit out of it? Because there's a different answer for different ones. But yeah, I mean stuff like that is like I can't believe that I'm getting paid to help someone buy an RC and just talk about it for a while. Yeah, that's Brian. So I'm not like a tech or anything, but I said like, hey, so I don't know how to fix like every RC, but if there's like a Traxxas back there or a mini crawler, like I can wrench on those, and I bring my own tools to work every day. Like I can fix stuff on the clock, if we have time. And the lead tech said, yeah, actually, since we have like a 3 week turnaround, I might line up a couple of those back there for you to do when you have time, and I might kind of specify because I want you to learn, all the computer stuff and the basics first, but we definitely need more people wrenching. And I was like, I can do that. So I definitely want to keep busting my ass and put the word out there. Like they're building the track right now, and I took my work boots in and was like, hey, if you need someone else to shovel or whatever, I'm down. And he was like, cool, but you're new, so stay in there. Like learn that first. So they seem to like that I'm eager, and I told them like, yeah, you can call me if someone calls in or whatever. Like I'm willing to come in. It's an hour drive, but if you're gonna work me for like 4 to 5 hours, then that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it's certain stuff like I have to look it up because obviously I don't know, or like if the tech is like busy fixing something, or like a customer comes in and he needs help reprogramming an ESC and he's sitting there doing that, and someone else comes in and they're asking me like a real technical question, like I try to do as much as I can to help them, but I am honest and like, look, I love RC and I know quite a bit, but I'm not 100% exactly on what you're asking. So I'm going to look up the information and tell you what I get from it. But if you want a more technical question, you might have to wait and talk to that guy. Like he knows fucking all of it. So yeah, like you said, you don't want to push someone in the wrong direction. And that's like people are coming in like, oh, I want the carbon fiber this or the aluminum that, and I'm like, well, like how do you drive it or whatever? Or they'll say like, oh, is it worth getting an aluminum shock tower? And it's like, not if you crash a lot because it'll just bend or it'll bend and stay bent rather than bend back like a plastic one. So some upgrades are worth it and some aren't. And obviously, you talk people through purchasing decisions. But some people are like, "Oh yeah, I just want it, the cool all aluminum stuff, red or blue or green or whatever." And it's like, sure, here it is. There you go. There's your aluminum stuff.
Yeah.
If they want it, we'll give it to them. It's not. I'm not going to try to out. I'm not trying to not sell stuff to people if they want it. I'm not saying like, oh, you don't want that. That's bullshit. I know everything, and I'm telling you you don't need that shit. I'm trying to help everybody get what they want. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much follow the lead tech around freaking as much as I can. Like anytime he's working on something, I'm trying to figure out what he's doing. Like, because the people come in and just say, "Oh, this doesn't work when I plug it in," and then he can be like, "What's the first step and what's the second step and that?" And then, like, I know how to troubleshoot stuff pretty well, so I'm usually like, "Oh, do you think it would be the battery?" And he's like, "Well, I'm going to test that right now," and then I'm saying, "Well, this turned on or it blinked once or whatever, and this works. So this part's working, but that part's not working. So it might be this." And he's like, "Yep, that sounds like probably what it is." So some of the stuff, like right there with him. But other times, like when he's programming shit and like pushing buttons and doing endpoints and stuff, like on a brand new controller, I don't know how to do the brand new freaking transmitters and stuff. So I'm definitely learning that kind of shit. Because I mean, people will come in, buy a transmitter, and then like want to go race, and then come in and be like, "Oh, the settings are off, and I don't know how to do any of it," and they expect you to know how to do it because you sell it. It's like I just sell stuff. I don't know all that crap, but I am trying to learn all that crap. So yeah, Brian, it's cool. You probably weren't here earlier. So Chico State is a big college town, Chico State University, and there's an engineering class right now that was provided with a bunch of like RC type car parts, like an electric motor, a drive shaft with like nothing on it, a certain gear ratio they had to run, and I think that was it. And they're like 3D printing their own parts. They like came in and were like buying RC wheels, but then didn't know how to get the RC wheel to stick on the axle. And like, well, you need a hex or this or that. And then they had problems with the hex like spinning on the axle, so we had to get the like clamp on or lock on, grub screw type of hex. And I was like, you might have to flat spot your axle so the grub screw can sit on a flat surface and not spin around. And then like someone came in and said, "Oh, I bought this ESC, but the motor and the gearing or something, and it started on fire. It just smoked up." And we're like, "Oh, so you need a bigger ESC because you bought that one and you're running this size motor." And then we're like, "Oh, what kind of battery did you put in it?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we wanted it to go fast, so we bought the 4S." And we're like, "Well, no, you can't put a 4S on that. Like, no wonder it blew up." So it's like, they're engineering, but they don't know how to build an RC car. So it's been cool, like having them come in and they're troubleshooting and asking us to troubleshoot with RC car parts to fix their issue. So yeah, it's been fun, like doing RC as a job all day. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm going to work. I feel like I just get to go hang out at the RC shop all day. Yeah, I mean they did a lot of the engineering. Like it was crazy. They were using fucking hardware like as big as this freaking Sharpie to like hold 3D printed parts together. And then I'm like, well, here's the hex. It's only like a 12 millimeter. And they're like, oh, we were thinking you had to have like a whole. And I'm like, nah, it just. And then I was telling them, like, yeah, you just thread the end and put a wheel nut on it and it'll tighten down. And they're like, oh, we're not allowed to thread it or something like that. And I'm like, huh, how the fuck do you keep a wheel on without a wheel nut? So I was just like looking at their car, and they had a lock washer holding like the gear in place. And I'm like, you could use one of those, or there's like those one way push on washers that are like concaved and like cut where you slide it on and then it like grips on or whatever. So I like Googled that stuff and I was like, those might work, but they might be a bitch to get off. And I forgot like one of them had some other fucking solution, and they're like, we might just put a weld on the end of it or something. And I was like, then you won't ever be able to get it off, but sure.
That's funny though, because it sounds like y'all having to help teach engineers how to engineer stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like simple things, and they're just like, how do you keep the wheel on? And I mean, anyone that RCs is like, well, there's a wheel hex, there's a little pin through the axle shaft, and then a hex, and then a wheel nut. You know, that anyone that RCs knows that, but they're just like, on a car, there's lug nuts and stuff, but on an RC wheel, there's this hex on the back. And it's funny, they'll all come in with their calipers, and they're like, the hex on this wheel is 12 millimeters, and I need something that fits inside of here. And I'm like, yeah, a wheel hex, a 12 mil wheel hex, a locking one. And the super funny part, so there's like 6 teams, I think, doing it. And the point is to like win the RC race. And if you win, you like get an automatic A in the class. So people are like, how do I make it go faster? And how do I, asking all this stuff? Or like with the wheel hex, one person bought the clamp on style where it just like screws, this way and clamps on rather than like the pin style that sits on like a flat spot. And they were spinning the hex on the shaft. So I said, you might need the kind that go this way rather than that way, if that makes sense to anybody. But then like the next week, another team came in and said, oh, my wheel hex is spinning on my shaft. I'm like, hey, the other team did that, and I'm not on a team. So here's what they did. Like, just totally like gave away all the secrets. Like, here's what they're doing. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody that, their top secret fix, but here's what we did to fix their car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was super funny because the one team, like the one guy was just like, oh, we're gonna win, we're totally gonna win. And then you like see the other car and you're like, he might win. Like, these ones kind of suck. Like, this guy either has RC'd before or just is a better engineer. I don't know. Like, his car just seemed better. Like I said, he had like hardware like this, fucking bolting all the shit. Like, the servo mount was hardware like this big, and I was like, dude, that's overkill. Like, I grabbed our screw tin. I'm like, see those little screws? That's what RCs use. Like, and yeah, they break and bend sometimes, but that's way over engineered by far. It's supposed to take tips. There is people that leave tips. We have a little freaking 3D printed trash can thing that people leave change in, and usually we use it for like when people buy a RC car and it's like, oh, that'll be $259.38, and then we're like, oh, we got 38 cents for you, and they're like, cool. Like, well, you're spending $239, so we'll cover the change. Like, no problem.
Yeah.
Arizona Rider, what's going on? Coming right at the end. I was about to end it. I don't even know how many people are watching now. 12.
Nice.
I don't even know what time it is either. Oh, 9 o'clock. Yeah, shit, Bill. You came in right at the end. I might have to end it. I was going to go smoke a joint with my dad before bedtime. I've been freaking trying to go to sleep by like 11. I mean, I'm waking up at like 7:30 isn't that early, but when you go from like no job and staying up watching lives till like 2 a.m. and shit, and then all of a sudden you like have to wake up. Like I remember like when James got a job, I was like, oh man, we won't see him anymore. I mean, he's busy working and shit, so it's just how it goes. But I got my schedule, I think, permanent now, so I have Mondays and Tuesdays off, and then Thursdays off. So I'm gonna try to do more lives on Mondays. So hopefully, be able to like get parts on Sunday, and if I don't wrench on Sunday, then I'll freaking try to do a live on Monday. I built these wheels this morning, and I thought, damn, I should have done a live, but got me the new Trio, not new, but new to me, Type B wheels that go with my deadbolt. Looks better on this side where you can see the blue helmet and the blue wheels.
Yeah, that's definitely coming along.
But yeah, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna hop off. Ozzy, thanks for stopping in, man. Good to see you. Jeremy, my mom, Thompson Zoo, Arizona next. Brian, next video show us tools that simply must have. Hey Brian, next video. I got some new tools from my work, but not the ones you need. I just got the cheap ones. We had the freaking Mighty Handy tool for a long time, and I just needed something better. The only problem with the Mighty Handy tool is they're not a 1/4-inch drive, so they don't fit in any drill, and I needed new drill bit size ones. But yeah, all right, guys, take it easy. Alex, thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys next time.
Everyone have a good night.
Later.